But let's start with the quarterfinals. The teams that advanced, I'm going to come to Oliver first because we have an incredible matchup ahead of us with France and Portugal, and so what they've done so far. Obviously, France has to get through England next, and Portugal perhaps looking better with
already predicting the semifinal.
I know I'm getting one step ahead of myself. It's crazy, isn't it? Let's go with Brazil out of those two heavy hitters, though. Are they considered the favorites to win this entire tournament of the 8 that remain, Oliver?
Yeah, I still think they're the best team in the tournament, based on what we've seen so far, based on the balance of this Brazilian team, which I think is a bit different to past years. And obviously what isn't so different is the attacking talent that's on offer. I think they look like they have everything they need to win the World Cup. And what is also crucial, I think, with Brazil, and, you know, is different to the teams you just mentioned there in France, Portugal, and England, is that they have the best pathway to the World Cup final as well. Any one of those three teams, England, France, and Portugal, they're going to have to probably beat the other two in order to make it to the World Cup final. I think there is a case to be made that those three European teams are the second, third, and fourth best teams in the tournament, and Brazil potentially only have to beat one of them to win this World Cup. So that, I think, is as big a part of it as anything. But I also do think that this Brazilian team is, on paper and in practice, in what we've seen so far, the best team at the tournament.
Gareth's shaking his head.
Well, just the easiest path comment. I'm not quite so sure that that's true. Brazil have lost each of their last 5 knockout round games against European competition, including their last 3 quarterfinal ties over the course of that run. What do we think in 2018 that they were going to lose to Belgium at the quarterfinal stage? I don't think so. Do we think they were going to get battered in 2014 7-1 to Germany? Like, this is a hump that Brazil needs to get over. I understand what you're saying, playing Croatia, the team that I'm kind of more negative on Croatia than any of the other 8 teams that remain standing. But you know that Zlatko Dalic is going to be prepared for this game. He said, quote, Switzerland had the best tactics opposing Brazil. And he said, we have to copy the model of Switzerland. And I think Croatia have better players and a better route to play that defensive shape and system. They play so deep. Brozovic, Kovacic drop right on top of those 2 center backs who've been great over the course of this tournament. And the fact that Neymar isn't scoring goals in open play. His last 6 goals for Brazil have all come from the penalty spot. They're relying upon Richarlison right now. Rafinha hasn't been able to capitalize on a number of chances. I just don't think that this game's straightforward. If you want to look ahead, it's either another European competitor in Netherlands next up, and the team that I think they want to play least is Argentina out of anyone in this competition, as they beat them last time in the Copa America final. So that's what I took exception to. I rate Brazil. I agree they're the top team in this competition, but I don't think it's an easy path whatsoever.
I don't think it's an easy path either. Absolutely not. But I do believe that Brazil are the favorites, and by a long shot, by far. It's their tournament to lose. Yeah, it's their tournament to lose. The brand of football that they're playing is exceptional. And to meet Argentina in the semifinals, which we're all predicting, or I would say I'm predicting, get past them, it's their tournament. But I still think it's just their tournament to lose. The depth we've never seen. And as I said, this is the best Brazil team since 2002.
Very quickly, Adam, I'm not saying that this is an easy path. I'm saying it's a much better path than the other side of the draw. Right? Like, if you want to put the potential opponents left in the competition in order of how you would like to face them, Croatia's near the top of that list. Netherlands aren't far off, I don't think. You're certainly putting England, Portugal, and France in front of them. It's a much better pathway than the other half of the draw.
I'm not so sure about that. I think Portugal actually kind of has the most preferable path to make it to the final.
Portugal.
We'll see.
I think that against Morocco, look, Portugal's flying right now. They're showing what kind of talent they have in this team. They play a Moroccan side who are known for their defensive prowess. They simply don't concede goals, but they could be down at least one of their center backs, maybe both, heading into this game. And both of their fullbacks, Hakimi and Mazraoui, who have both been incredible. Hakimi, the best player in his position this tournament, are both banged up and fighting through injury and coming off after playing 120 minutes of defensive football. I think that's the biggest layup of these quarterfinal games for me. And we'll see France, England. I think both teams are flawed. Very good attacking from an attacking perspective, but both teams are flawed as well. So if I was any team right now sitting there, I'd prefer to have Portugal's path than anyone else.
Two things to remember here. One, nobody scores against Morocco other than Morocco. And two, the last time I was on this show with you gentlemen, Gareth Wheeler gave us a 98% chance that one of Brazil or Argentina will win the World Cup. So just remember that, Mr.
One of them.
King of
not just Brazil, one of those teams.
Gareth has already told us that he thinks Croatia is the weakest of the remaining clubs. Bodog.ca and some of the other odds makers would agree at plus 4,000 to win it all. Jordan, would you agree that the Croatians have the least likely chance to win the World Cup?
I thought about it long and hard. This question, like, it had me up for a little bit, and I can't say that. A team that went to the finals 4 years ago and still have the same type of players and the same fight within their squad, I can't say that the worst team. Now, I think Morocco is the dark horse. I think that we can all kind of agree on that. But just putting on the fact that they don't have as much depth as other teams in this tournament, I would have to put them in the weakest side. I wouldn't put Croatia there. I can't for a team that's made it all the way to the finals 4 years ago. I can't put them in that category.
Personally, I don't think Croatia or Morocco either have a chance of winning the World Cup. I'm putting them both at 0%. Like, good teams, don't get me wrong. They've done fantastically well in this tournament, and Croatia in past tournaments as well. There's no chance that one of those teams is winning another 3 games with the competition that's left in the tournament. Not going to happen.
Somewhere there are Croatian Canadians screaming, have you not learned your lesson?
Morocco.
Do we have to do it again? Let's talk about the other South American giant that remains in this competition, and that is Argentina. Obviously, they're an incredible team, and they have Lionel Messi, so that's always a fantastic thing to just have in the toolkit. Excuse me. But when you think about some of the other names the other nations we've mentioned already, your Brazils, your Portugals, France, England, they've found their offense in bunches. All of those nations have scored at least 4 goals in a single match at this tournament. Argentina hasn't scored more than 2. Where would you put them, Gareth, in terms of your expectations for the country heading into the tournament?
Tough game. This is a great chance for them to go on and win this tournament, but they did get past the Netherlands first. They haven't scored the last 3 times they played the Netherlands back in 2014. It was a difficult watch. It was 0-0 through 120 minutes. Argentina survived, advanced in a penalty shootout. And guess who the manager of the Netherlands was at that time? Louis van Gaal. And he's already said, like, the strength of Argentina is Lionel Messi. The weakness, though, is how Messi plays, and he just refuses to defend. So how he plans to go out and take advantage of whatever there is that he sees in this Argentina side that may make them vulnerable. He's a coach that they don't need to play sexy, even though he's apparently open-mouth kissing Memphis Depay now, which is very random, the most random comment I've heard.
Wasn't expecting that. Here we go.
At this World Cup. I mean, I think it's going to be a very difficult game. I don't think there's much to separate these two sides at all in this game. I think that if Argentina gets past, again, them or Brazil, if they can get past this game and whoever makes it on past the semifinal, I fancy to win this tournament, but this is going to be no easy match. Not easy whatsoever.
Jordan, to you and to football and not open mouth kissing.
Do you see that quote? Because Di Maria said he didn't like Van Gaal. He was like the worst manager. He's like, Memphis hated me as well, but now we're open mouth kissing. So okay.
There's a way with words.
Yes. I love that guy.
Just like Jordan Wilson.
Oh, man. Argentina haven't met expectations yet. I would say the best bit of football was against Mexico after Messi scored in the 64th minute. Like, I want to see that Argentina side. I think for 4 games, they've been like almost lulled. They've just been kind of going through the motions. Like, we haven't seen the potential within this side. Now, will they pick that up against the Netherlands? They need to, because they could be out of the tournament if they're not playing their best football. You can't rely on Messi game in and game out. At a point, his tires might get punctured at a point. So they need to pick it up.
Let's go to Oliver Platt, and the man who is self-proclaimed someone who hates watching the Netherlands play football.
Anti-Dutch.
You're going to have to watch them tomorrow.
Hate's a strong
Do you
word.
believe in the Netherlands despite hating watching the way they play football?
Hate.
I don't believe in their ability to win this tournament. No, I don't think they're quite going to have enough quality. And I do think there's been vulnerabilities there as strong as they've looked defensively at times in this tournament. But I do believe in them in terms of their ability to win this match. And a lot of that is still, I think the jury is still out on Argentina. Like, they've improved as the tournament has gone on. Messi has been sensational, obviously. Enzo Fernandez has come into midfield and made a big difference. And they have scored. Argentina has scored 7 goals, which is the same number as Brazil, albeit with Brazil having that dead rubber at the end of the group stage. So there are positives there for Argentina, but they just haven't really played anyone that I think is a real test at this tournament so far. And this is going to be that in terms of the Netherlands. So the Netherlands absolutely have a chance. I agree that Argentina are still slight favorites in this game, but this one's going to be evenly matched, I think.
They beat the Netherlands, by the way, beat the champions of CONCACAF, the champions of Africa, and the champions of Asia. So saying that they haven't beat anyone, it's a little bit disingenuous here. Nice. They've only ever lost to Argentina once in 9 tries. Well, now they have the champions of South America to contend with. I wonder if Argentina might be thinking, Scaloni might think to play 3 at the back. They played it at the end of the game against Australia. It matches up with the Dutch system as well. Bring in Lisandro Martinez. It's something to think about. Remember, the Dutch are undefeated in 19 games under Louis van Gaal. This team's a tough out, tough to beat.
Well, tomorrow we're back to a double header.
Thanks, buddy.
Thanks, the FIFA World Cup. Croatia and Brazil is the match to get your morning started at 7 a.m. Pacific time. And then it is the Dutch and the Argentines at 2 p.m. Eastern, your 2 matches tomorrow.